Hey friends, what's going on here? This is David Potts with Song Notes, and in that playthrough you just saw, I played Man of the Woods by Justin Timberlake. Specifically, I put together the bass line part on an acoustic guitar, and I combined that with the rhythmic part, which is basically one chord progression with one strumming pattern, and I showed you a few different ways to play those chords, because you can have a lot of fun with this, especially if you're on your own with an acoustic guitar. You know, check out those tabs in that playthrough I just did. Check out my website, playsongnotes.com, if you want to find the tabs all written out for you. And here, let me give you a few bits of advice if you want to approach this song. Okay, first up, I'm going to talk about the bass line here you have, okay? So this is the tab, and really what you're going to notice is that for each of the chords, especially the C and the F, you're going to have the same sort of fret pattern, which is basically your root note is on the 5th string, and then you're going to go down to the 6th string, basically 2 frets further, and then back on the original fret. So 3rd fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, okay? That would be the C. And then you have that same sort of shape, just moved up to the 8th fret and 10th fret. Okay, so see, that's the same shape, right? You just have a different sort of reference root note. So keep that in mind when you're practicing it. And then do notice for this G, there is a little bit of a difference here where you're playing the 10th fret on the 5th string and 6th string. So you can either bar it like I'm doing here, right? Or you can sort of just do fingertips, where I'm moving my ring finger to sort of, you know, get in the position it needs to be for each note. Either way is fine. Just sort of, you know, do what works for you based on your skill level and everything. I do concede that you can play this. You can play the F on the 4th and 5th strings if you want, using the 3rd and the 5th frets. However, I like to keep it all on the bass strings, the 5th and 6th strings. And I like the consistency of sound you get with the low E string, right? And then here's a cool thing you can do with this bass line, which is muting the strings. And by that, I mean I'm basically going to take my hand and sort of put it right against the part of the guitar where my strings are connecting here. And basically, if you do that and you strum, you're kind of going to get the suggestion of a chord, right? But check this out. If I play this riff, see how it sounds nice and muted and dulled a little bit? If I took my hand off, it would sound like this. So it's a little bit louder, right? But again, here's that muted sound. So again, I'm just putting my hand right, the fleshy part of my hand right there on the guitar. Another thing you can do with this bass line part is when you play the notes, you can sort of release your finger from the fretboard, right? So, and what that does is it kills the sound. So that creates a difference where you could play it like this, where the sounds all sort of keep going, right? Or you could take your finger off, right? The difference is, so let me play through once. The first time I'm going to do it, I'm going to keep my fingers sort of pressed on the fretboard for each note. The second time I play through, I'm going to do that release tactic, which basically makes things sound a bit more kind of punctuated. So here it is with the notes sort of ringing. And here it is with the notes sort of, you know, doing this release sort of technique. Okay, so again, it's up to you too. Do as you like there. But next, let's move on to the chords here, and specifically the strumming pattern. That's probably the toughest part about the song. The strumming pattern would be down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, up, up. So basically, I started moving my hand there at the end to let you know that that's what the sort of 16th note strums would look like, but I'm only touching the strings on the down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, up, up. Okay, so take it slow if you need to, but basically you're going to take that strumming pattern and you're going to apply it to these chords. Now, here's the 3 different ways I play the chords. Number one is down here on the sort of, you know, open C chord. Then I do a sort of middle 4 string of the F bar chord, and I just slide that up to do the middle 4 strings of a G bar chord, okay? So that would be down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, A little technique I like to do also is sort of do the same thing where when I strum some of the chords, I'll release my fingers from the fret, so that kind of kills the sound. Check this out. Check out how I'm sort of like, it's almost like I'm grabbing the strings. Okay, what that lets you do is sort of almost strum like this, where you're touching all the strings, but you're only sort of pinching the strings to make a sound when you want to have that sort of, to match the strumming pattern, right? On the down, up, down, up, down, up, up, up. Okay? Now, a couple other ways to play these chords. One is like this. Okay? So this is basically the same shape. It's a bar chord, but you're going from here, which is 3rd, 5th, 5th, 5th for the C, and then 8, 10, 10, 10 for the F, and then 10, 12, 12, 12 for the G. Okay, so. Okay, so same deal there where I'm sort of just sort of pushing down only on the strums that I want to make a sound on. The rest of the strums, I'm still doing this, right? But my hands are sort of just lightly resting on the strings to mute them. Okay, and then finally we have this little shapes up here, which is basically thinnest 4 strings only. For the C, we have 10, 9, 8, 8 on the thinnest 4 strings. And then we have this sort of same shape as the prior section, right? So it's 10, 10, 10, 8, and then 10, 10, 10, 12, 12, 12, 10, okay? Now this is tougher to play, admittedly. It's sometimes hard for me to get that high E string to ring, but basically this is what it would sound like. Now, this would probably sound better on an electric guitar, but hey, I just wanted to show it to you because the technique is the same, really. It's just the mechanics of the instrument are a little bit different. It's kind of harder to play and get that clean sound on an acoustic, depending on what kind of model you have. But otherwise, you take that strumming pattern, you take those chords, you put them together, throw on that bass line if you want, and you'll be good to go. I hope this was helpful for you. Check out my website, playsongnotes.com, if you want to find the notes and tabs for this lesson. And of course, let me know in the comments what you want to hear lessons for. And I will always listen with open ears. So thank you very much for watching. This has been David Potts with Song Notes. Have a great day. And remember, pick up that guitar and play. Bye-bye, friends.